So thank you so much for your time, Mr. Johnson. Well, Mr. Johnson, you are one of the politicians who really knows Donald Trump. Do you understand why last week he called President Zelenskyy a dictator and why he's asking for elections in Ukraine?
Look, I think a couple of things. First of all, I deplore those untruths about Ukraine. Ukraine didn't start the war. Zelenskyy is not a dictator. It's Orwellian that we're hearing this kind of nonsense. You know, you might as well say that the United States attacked Japan at Pearl Harbor, right? It's just the inversion of the truth. I think, why did he say it? I think he hears a lot of nonsense about the war from some of his people he takes seriously. But I think he's also trying to negotiate. And what he's trying to do is, so I think he was frustrated about the lack of progress on the minerals agreement with Ukraine. And that's, if you look at what happened, that was when it all started. And so Treasury Secretary Bessent came to Kyiv, didn't get a deal, and that's when the polemics began. It's regrettable, but I'm hopeful that today, even today, there may be an agreement, and that would be positive. Because the agreement, when you look at it, is very good for Ukraine, actually. I mean, it's tough.
But are there enough security guarantees? That is Zelenskyy's main concern, are the security guarantees, right?
I think that we have to be frank and say that, well, the deal commits the United States to a free, sovereign, and secure Ukraine. It commits the United States to continuing to finance Ukraine, and it commits the United States to a long-term economic partnership with Ukraine. Trump has also said that he's in favor of the British having boots on the ground in Ukraine, the French having boots on the ground, and I hope the Germans as well. I guess there are historical echoes that may make it difficult, but other European countries certainly having boots on the ground in Ukraine. And we have to be honest, the problem of the security guarantees did not originate with Donald Trump. I've spent a long time watching this. I haven't heard a European country call for NATO membership of Ukraine for a long time. I haven't heard the Germans calling for NATO membership of Ukraine, unless I've missed something. I haven't heard a plan from Europe for increasing our defense spending. The fact is that the average American taxpayer is paying much more for Ukraine than the average European taxpayer. Okay, I'll repeat that. The average American taxpayer is paying much more. There are far fewer people in America than there are in Europe. They're paying a huge amount in their, both in humanitarian aid and in military aid. And Trump was elected to address what he sees as an imbalance and to get Europeans to step up.
Sure, but do you think he is offering enough to guarantee Ukraine's security? Is he offering enough? Or will the United States leave a gap that has to be filled by the European Union?
No American president so far has offered enough. So Biden didn't offer a NATO guarantee. It was never clear what the future of Ukraine was going to be. But what Trump is saying, certainly in the minerals agreement, is that it depends. Not a penny. America won't get a pfennig. No, if you still have pfennigs. Used to be, whatever you call it, euro cents. You won't get a dime unless there's a free, sovereign, and secure Ukraine, right? And that's what it says in black and white in the agreement. And I think it's up to us as Europeans now, particularly frankly to Britain and France, because we're the P5 powers that let Ukraine down. We signed the Budapest Memorandum. I mean, Germany's in another position. We signed the Budapest Memorandum. We said that if Ukraine gave up their nuclear weapons, we would come to their defense in the event of attack. That has not happened. We should now be producing for Trump a plan to help secure Ukraine. And I'm sure that if we do that, the Americans will provide, as they have done for the last 3 years, the intelligence cover, the logistical support, and everything else. But they won't put boots on the ground.
So do you also think...
The reason for doing that, shall I tell you why to do that? Because Putin doesn't want it.
Yeah.
And stuff Putin. Because Putin, but fundamentally this isn't about trying to carve Ukraine up. You can't solve this tragedy by a division of land. This is about the identity and the future of Ukraine. And if you tell Vladimir Putin, no, it's Ukrainians who decide which club they want to join. It's Ukrainians who want to join the EU, it's Ukrainians who want to join NATO. That's their sovereign right. You say America is not committed to a sovereign Ukraine, right? And it's up to the Ukrainians to decide which countries they want to admit as peace enforcers to Ukraine, not Putin.
Did you expect this from the United States? I mean, it has been a change, it has been an earthquake for international politics, the stand that the United States is having now and the words that President Trump has had last week. Were you expecting this? Do you think this is a wake-up call for you?
He said before the election that he was going to talk to Putin. He said he was going to try and end the war. We shouldn't be remotely surprised that this is what is happening. I think you should actually look at, as I said, I don't like what he said. I don't like the lies that we're hearing about the origins of the war. But American financial support is still continuing. America is committed to a free, sovereign and secure Ukraine. And with great respect to European powers, what have they actually done?
So this is a wake-up call for the European part?
It is, but to be honest with you, I see no real sign that the Europeans are going to get their act together. I don't yet see the commitment to the peacekeeping force or the peace enforcing force that we need to have. And I hear some language. The meeting in Paris was a shambles. Where is Europe? Maybe Mr. Merz will be better than Olaf. Let's see what happens. But Europe really does need to step up now. And I'll tell you why. Because if you want America to take us seriously, we have to take ourselves seriously. If you want America to take Ukraine seriously and to care about Ukraine, we must show that we care about Ukraine, right? And when we're spending so little on our own defense, when we don't unfreeze the 300 billion, we talk about the 300 billion for years and years. What is Germany's position on the $300 billion? What is Germany's position? Nothing. We bloviate on about, oh, Donald Trump says this, oh, Donald Trump says that, woo! Panic in Europe. What are we actually doing to unfreeze the 300 billion that is mainly in Belgium and use it to support Ukraine? Germany is blocking it, France is blocking it, Belgium is blocking it, Spain is blocking it, everyone, even the UK is not doing enough on that. So Europe needs to get serious. If Europe, here's the key thing. If Europe wants America to engage in protecting Ukraine, Europe has to show that it is willing to protect Ukraine itself. Otherwise, why should American taxpayers are paying more per head to protect Ukraine than European taxpayers? And I don't believe that Deutsche Welle explains that to the German population enough.
Do you think that a possible Chancellor Merz would change this and that Germany could become a leader? And one more, what do you think, what do you hope that Mr. Starmer would take today? What kind of message?
I hope he will listen to what I've just said. And I hope that together with our French friends and hopefully our German friends, we will present a credible plan to Donald Trump for Europe taking responsibility for peace enforcement within Ukraine, backed up by American intelligence support.